Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use AI agents to interact with the map so that you can communicate with the map using natural language queries. And first, I will show you what it looks like, what we are going to build. So on the left side here, we have this digital globe that we're going to basically interact with the globe through natural language. For example, lower right corner here, I can select some of the samples. For example, we can fly to any location. So for example, I can fly to Chicago, any location you like. So under the hood is going to basically figuring out the coordinates of the city that you are interested in, and then go to fly to the location. Or I can also type, for example, fly to NYC, and then just press Control Enter. Then you're going to query, get the coordinate, and then jump to that. So pretty cool. Also, you can add all kind of base maps. You can basically visualize geospatial data, base map interactively on the map. So I'm going to basically add, for example, open topo map. It should load up. So you see here, my internet is a little bit slow, but you get the idea. So allows you to load the data layer. And then on the side here, this is basically built on top of Leafmap with the map library backend, allow you to interact with the map. Besides the base map, you can also, for example, if you need to remove the data layer, I can just say remove the data layer. Of course, this is very flexible, so you can use basically any natural language to interact with the map. So now the layer is gone. Let me clear all of this. I can also add raster data layer, vector data layer. If you have an imagery, for example, hosted on in the cloud through HTTP URL, I can just say add code layer. Then you will be able to actually pull the raster data layer and then visualize that on the map. So pretty cool. And you don't really need to write any code. All you need to just create a map, and then you should be able to interact with that. This might take a couple seconds to load up because behind the scene is using a T-Tyler backend to actually to visualize that. And so this for raster data layer, you can also visualize, for example, vector data layer, GeoJSON or GeoPackage or GeoPackage, something like that. Okay, so the raster imagery is up. So this is just a sample imagery posted on GitHub, right? I can just put it in, and then I can change the opacity. I can zoom in and zoom out. So it's all interactive. And the last one also is just the vector data layer. This just shows you some examples. There are a lot more things you can do. I just loaded the vector data layer, the state boundaries for the US. Just one simple natural language query, just a text prompt, then you'll be able to interact with the map. Pretty powerful. I'm very excited about the future of geospatial. So, I mean, it greatly lower the barrier for entry. So anyone can now use some language to that. And so let's talk about AI agents. What exactly is an AI agent? So you can think about an agent has three components. The first one is the large language model, LLM. So think about ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. So some of those large language models. But the reason why we need to use the AI agents is because those large language models only have access to their model, the data that they train. They cannot really interact with your local computer. They cannot actually interact with other packages. So you cannot see the interactive map inside ChatGPT, right? So the agent allows you to connect to the large language model, and the second component is the memory. So it has the memory about the conversation, and so the last one is about the tools. So the tools means I can have connect to some of the packages that I have, or it can interact with your local computer. It can read the file from my local computer, and so it's very powerful. That exposes a lot of functionalities that the original ChatGPT or Gemini do not have. And so you can see here, this is the package, this is the Leafmap package that I developed, I created. They have all the mapping capability, but you always have to write source code, and you need to write it because otherwise you will not be able to actually interact with the map if you don't have the knowledge. So I might need to increase the volume here. And so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how to utilize the AI agents capability within the GeoAI package. So if you want to follow, you can check out the link in the video description below to go to the Open GeoAI website, and then under examples, click and then navigate to the bottom here, AI agents. Oops, let me move my camera here. So it's the AI agents at the bottom here, and you can just click this button, and then you can right click to save this one to your computer. So one of the requirements that you need to have is to either install LLaMA on your computer, basically have the local language model if you have a GPU. If you don't, you need to have an OpenAI API key or Anthropic API key, so it's up to you. If you have never used it, LLaMA, LLaMA, so you can search it, and from here you'll be able to download LLaMA to your computer. So you can install, for example, right now on Linux, there's a command line, or you can download the installer for Windows, for Mac. So once you finish downloading and install the software, the next step is to pull the large language models. So if you have a large GPU, you can try out some of it. But I recommend you can just try out this one, LLaMA 3.1. It's roughly about 5 gigabytes. So you do need to have a GPU, maybe at least 8 gigabytes. Then you'll be able to run this one. And so let me zoom in a little bit here, right? So you can see the size of the model. And this is the command line that you need to run. LLaMA run LLaMA 3.1. So by default, it's going to basically pull the latest one. So the latest tag here. So this one is 8 billion parameters. But you're welcome to try out other models. If you have used LLaMA, this is very easy to get started. So just install and pull the model. Then it's going to up and running on a local computer. So next, let me show you how to actually to get started. So I'm going to, let me restart my kernel, clear the output. And once you download the notebook, you need to install the packages. So the GeoAI package itself doesn't include dependencies. So you need to use the GeoAI agents. So that one includes all the agents. So this one built on top of the AWS called Strengths agents. If you can Google it, you can find more information about the agents. So it essentially allows you to basically integrate large language model with your local tools or any tools on your computer. It's through Python, so it's very powerful. And so I already integrated into the package and make it really easy to use. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how to get started. We're going to basically get two key components. The first one is the map. So we're going to import the map class from GeoAI. So that one basically is the Leafmap, map library, and map class. And also we're going to import the GeoAI, GeoAgent, and also a couple of functions to create a model. I have integrated the LLaMA, OpenAI, Anthropic, and also the Bedrock models. So Bedrock actually include all kind of models, but you do need to have AWS access key and token to be able to access that. So let's just import all the functions, and then once you import these functions, we can create a model. So by default, if you don't specify the model, it's going to assume that you want to use the local LLaMA model. But I'm showing you here a function that allows you to customize. For example, I want to use the LLaMA model, like just run it. Very simple. Inside here, you can see the parameters. So for example, here is the LLaMA 3.1 by Meta. So you can also see the press shift tab on your keyboard to see the basically the help documentation. So the host by default is going to run on 11.4.34, basically the port number, and then the model ID. So this is where you can customize. If you don't want to use LLaMA 3.1, then you can use other model available from here pretty much. For example, GPT OSS, right? So I can use this one. All you need to do is just run this command line to pull whatever model that you have. So this one is 14 gigabyte, then you need to have at least a 16 gigabyte GPU to be able to run it. But all you need is just the model ID, so you can use any model available through the LLaMA. So I created this model, and then I can create a GeoAgent. So GeoAgent basically means that we specify the model, create the agents, and so let's just run this one. And so now we have these agents. So the agent basically have the model, and because they're GeoAgents, we also have the map to interact. If you want, you can check the model. So if you change to something else, the model basically going to pointing to that particular model that you are interested in. And also by default, when you create a GeoAgent, it's going to basically create a map. So there's a section. So the section means I'm working. So for each GeoAgent, it has a section. Basically means right now we are going to interact with this particular map, and this map is just by default. It's going to have the globe, and I'm going to have the base map, and you also have the layer manager here allows you to interact with the map. Okay, and so now we can actually interact, right? So you can pretty much ask anything. right now I preview some of the functionality and the tools into the package, but in the future it will be a lot more. For now, you can basically add data layer, you can zoom to a location, you can even add 3D building, something like that. So it's pretty cool. So for example, for this one, I can say add open topo map base map, and let's see what happens. So basically, under the hood is going to basically figure out what you're asking, and then to find the tools, it needs to basically call the function, basically call the tools within the package. So I'm going to add open topo map, and you see it has been added. You can enter, you can turn the layer on off. You can also change the opacity. I can ask to fly to a particular location, for example, fly to Chicago or any city that you want. And that's it. So for example, I change it to NYC, for example. Then you will be able to zoom to the NYC location. I don't need this line anymore. So this is how you can integrate. Again, you can ask pretty much anything else. You can, let's say, okay, I add overture 3D building, and let's see if it works. Okay, so on the right here, you will see we have added the building, although right now it doesn't show you. But as you zoom in, let me turn this one off, right? So now if I see this, you have all the 3D buildings actually turned on. And it's super powerful. That allows you to bring in all kind of geospatial data layer on the map easily. Okay, so this is how you can interact, but you need to write the basically the coded function called agents.ask function, but you can also use the GUI. And by default, when you create the agents, it's going to create the default section, so a default base map here. But sometimes if you, for example, you have some custom application, you want to add some custom data sets, you can create a map first. So in this case, we already import the GeoAI map class. And I want to, for example, zoom in to a particular location. You can certainly do that. So you can create a map center at the longitude, latitude, and then you can specify all the things that you want to do with the map. So I'm going to just run this one. And once you have this, you can pass this one to the Geo agents. So we use the same model, but now we provide a map instance. So if you don't provide, it's going to by default create a map default map instance. So right now, I'm going to basically use this map that I created, zoom in to the city of Knoxville, the city I'm living in. And then I'm also going to ask you to add, for example, the Esri wall imagery. So I can just run this one, and it's going to basically build on top of the base map that you already created. So you can create a base map, and then you can add a bunch of pre-computed data layers or whatever data that you want to add. And then you can provide that one to allow the user to interact with your map. Also, I can, for example, ask to remove the Esri wall imagery. You see, it's gone immediately. So this is the way that if you want to run the agents programmatically. But if you just want the map and then just have a text prompt interface that allows you to interact, you can do that as well. So similarly here, I'm going to create a map and then pass this map instance into the Geo agents. So instead of calling the agents.ask, now I ask the agent to show the UI. So this is so much easier. So now I have this map, as you can see here. I can just interact with this map, and then on the right, as I just showed you earlier, then you can zoom to any location. For example, fly to Paris, and then Control Enter, then it should be able to zoom to Paris, right? And also you can add base map. So I'm going to add, for example, the open topo map. On the right here, in the center, if you click this one, you can show the layer manager. So that in that way, you can control the layer to whatever way you want. I can remove the data layer, and then you can send, right? I can add, just like what I showed you earlier, I can add the raster data layer, vector data layer. I can add the 3D buildings. Right now, it doesn't have access to all the tools available in the package yet. But I'm working on that. So hopefully in the future, you can pretty much interact with the map and invoke any Leafmap functionalities available. So let me show you, like, if you really want to see what's available, I can go to the source code here, and then under the GeoAI. So inside here, there's an agents directory, and there's a map tools functionality that shows you what kind of tools available. So I do need to add those tools into the package so that the agent can access. But if you want to see what kind of tools available, it's under the Geo agents here, And so these are some of the tools available. So you can see, for example, you can fly, you can create a map, you can zoom, you can add base map, vector, raster, 3D buildings. You can even change the colors of a different data layer. So let me see if it works here. For example, I can add, let's say, add a GeoJSON data layer, okay? And it's going to load it to the map. And for example, you might want to change, let's say, change the color to maybe red color, for example. So all you need to do is here, right? Add the GeoJSON. So this is the GeoJSON data layer that we are interacting. And I can ask, okay, change the GeoJSON layer to red color. Okay, may not work. I haven't tested it yet, but there's a lot of functions. Okay, this one doesn't work. So the name missing the parameter. So change the GeoJSON, change the GeoJSON layer. Change the layer name GeoJSON to red color. I haven't tested. Okay, now it works. You see, it's just sometimes you need to revise a little bit so that the language model can understand. Right now, it's just very preliminary functionality. In the future, they're going to have a lot more. So I'm really excited about this feature, and I'm going to improve so that in the future you can do a lot more. So right now it's focused on just visualization, but in the future you're going to have a lot of analytical functionality. For example, you can ask it to query the data for a particular area, and then you can run analysis using all the GeoAI functionality available through the package. For example, you can do segmentation, you can extract the features, and then we load the result directly on the map without you having to write the code yourself. The AI agent will help you visualize the data, analyze the data, and also plot the result on the map interactively. Okay, so try it out, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments down below. And I'm very excited about some of the potential applications that you're going to have, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.